as chairman of the school board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to executive order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically for the March 1st school board meeting. We're utilizing Zoom. If you can't find the Zoom information, it's on the SAU website, www.sau48.org. It's also posted on the door of the school. If you're not able to access this meeting, please contact Tanya Orlando at torlando@pennybaker.org. If the public cannot access this meeting, it will be rescheduled. All right, agenda review and disposition.
I have 2 things to add. Under discussion item, if we can add voting day prep. And then under non-public, student issue.
Thank you. And it's, I want to give everyone a heads up too that the district meeting that starts at 7 o'clock is only in person. So if you'd like to come to that meeting, it will be in person only at 7 p.m. in the gymnasium. Okay. Minutes of February 1st, 2021.
I make a motion to, approve them.
All right, perfect. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, perfect, thank you. Privilege of the floor number 1. I guess. You got nothing?
We're good.
All right, anybody on Zoom have anything to say for privilege of the floor number 1? No, seeing none, we'll move on to the principal's report.
So I did not report last month, so I'm again going to try to be brief, but I do have a lot of things I wanted to let you know about. Our enrollment as of today is 408 students, 47 of which are virtual. We did have 6 new enrollees between today and tomorrow, so that's exciting. I did want to let the board know that in the 2nd grade, we have 2 classes at 15 and 1 at 16. And in the 4th grade, we have a class at 16 and 1 at 17. All of those classrooms are getting tight with the spacing. It is well within the 3 to 6. At no point are we, I would easily say, at no point are we less than 4.5 feet between student desks. But those classrooms have a lot of desks spread out in wide spaces. And I just think it's important for everyone to know the situation. Those are the outliers, 2nd and 4th grade. For virtual learning, we've had 4 returned in person. We have 3 more expressing desire to return at the start of trimester 3. Wanted to give a little update on our positive school culture work. So in February, we worked around connections, connecting to ourselves and our feelings and our thoughts, and then also making sure we're making healthy connections to the people around us and the natural world. March is Read Across America week this week, and for some of the classes, they'll be focusing on Read Across America for the entire month. But in addition to that, we will be exploring music. So Jake Stevens and I are going to do some music appreciation and music history during PES News to help kids learn more about music. And in April, our theme for the month will be perseverance as we look ahead to state testing and kids really learning how to dig in deep and focus and pay attention to things that maybe aren't as exciting to them. Under curriculum instruction and assessment, winter NEWA went well. Most scores came up from the fall, and we were really happy to see that. We know that the in-person model is best for kids, and we can tell that many students have made gains after the disrupted spring. We're continuing to work on the ELA scope and sequence and our new math program pacing. We're looking hard at what we can get through and making sure that we get through as much of the program as we can. Want to let you know that we have signed, Superintendent Welch has signed an MOU with Lakes Region Mental Health, and we are meeting with those folks next Tuesday to begin to bring some community counseling directly to the building. So for kids or families that have troubles with transportation to counseling appointments, that they can see folks right here through the family's health insurance. But we're really working to support those families as best we can. The special education team is engaged in a 6-day over many months, 1 day a month, I believe, for emotional and behavioral issues that kids are having. So we have I think 5 or 6 of our case managers are involved in that training together. I'd like to do some student shout outs. So in the primary wing, I'm going to shout out Tessa Narguello for being a rock star in music, and Eliza Banchieri for being a great citizen and making really incredible gains academically. We're very proud of her. In the intermediate wing, January, you didn't hear about the CARE Award winners. So they are Ryan Acosta, Isabella Smith, and May Valles Babylonia. And in February, the CARE Award winners in the intermediate wing were Finn Madsen, Sophia Flanders, and Wesley Ball. And in the middle school, the teachers would like to have a shout out for Jack Witcher for his grit and determination, and Max Shemansky for always following through and being a positive influence with his peers and a positive attitude. For teachers and staff, I have some shout outs. Patty O'Neill and Paula Tanner presented at our most recent faculty meeting on teaching public speaking and listening, and they did an excellent job. We're trying to make sure that faculty meetings are very useful and sort of mini PD sessions. In addition, Ann Doyle presented at that faculty meeting on teaching vocabulary across curriculum. And we had a guest, Dan O'Neill, came and presented to the faculty and the last PTA meeting about physical identity in his new book and the significance and need for more PE in particular. So we're having some conversations and building about how we can help kids get their heart rate up more often during the day. Nancy Stock is working with Kelly and myself on the dress code project, and we have all of our data back from our survey, and we're meeting with those students tomorrow morning to review that data, and we expect to come back to you probably in 2 months to present the new dress code. And Brian Sheehan did a great job with the new process of 8th grade scheduling, and really took that on and did a nice job of that. So I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Sheehan. The PTA, we'd like to say thank you to all of the parents who submitted any mittens and gloves. The kids still love to be outside. Today I heard twice over the walkie-talkie, can I send this kid down for mittens? Can I send this kid down for gloves? So that's excellent. And there's a meeting this Wednesday at 6 p.m. virtually through for the PTA, and that link is on our website. So if parents want to get in that, we'd love to have you. Shout out to John Ramsey for managing all of the winter NIWA and every Zoom meeting that we have. So thank you, John. And I wanted to let you know that John Cormia is out on leave, but doing okay. But Gary Miller is back. So he started back today, and that was excellent. And that's, oh, and then recent events, still going, sorry, Kyla. We have the 100-day museum, and Karen McLeod came in, and that was fantastic. We held it over in the cafeteria, and she came to PES News in the morning. I interviewed her. It was very, very sweet. I think she felt very honored after all of her wonderful years here. We have Winter Olympics and winter activities for 5th through 8th graders coming up. Winter Olympics is this Friday, and then we have activities in the next couple of weeks for the 5th through 8th graders. And we are going to talk about parent-teacher conferences in a little bit. So that is my principal update.
Thank you. That's it?
That's it.
All right. You got anything?
Yeah, I'll just
All right.
quickly report on athletics and wanted to start off first by saying thank you to all of you for approval so far of all of our sports. And we made it through the winter. We had approximately about 80 kids that participated on our teams. That was great. Our 7th and 8th grade basketball teams had originally a 15-game schedule. We were able to get 11 of those in. We lost 4 of them to a couple of other situations with other schools and 1 to weather. But both of our teams were very competitive, worked really hard, and did great with wearing masks through it all. And our boys team was undefeated, finishing 11-0 on their season. Our wrestling team, we had 4 dual meets against some really solid competition with Salem, Rundle Middle School out of Concord, Keene, and Timberlane. And honestly, the coaches and I met with the kids in early December and flat out told them, we don't even know if we'll get any matches this winter. So we're really pleased that we were able to get those in and watch the kids compete and really challenge themselves, and they did great. In our Nordic ski team, we had a total of 7 races, which included the middle school state meet, which was held at the Sandwich Fairgrounds. And they won't hear it, but I want to say thank you to Interlakes for hosting that. They did a great job stepping up and getting that done. It was done a little bit differently this year. They hosted it in 2 segments on the same day. So the North Country schools went in the morning and the Southern schools went in the afternoon. Nathaniel Gervais finished in 1st place for the boys in the North region, and he was 6/10 behind the first finisher in the South region. So 2nd overall in the entire day. So kudos to him. We also had some young racers do really well. Zealand Stockloza was 8th, Colin Lane was 15th, and on the girls' side, Claire Gervais, who's also a 6th grader, was 20th, and Johanna Wakefield finished 29th.
Oh,
I think our coaches and our kids, and I want to thank all of our parents as well. I think resilience and patience was the key this winter, so really proud of everybody. Moving on, with board permission, of course, we're looking forward to the spring. Started holding some signups today, and we'll continue with that this week just to get an idea of our participation numbers. And still actively seeking some coaching positions, but we are hoping to follow the high school and the NHIA timeline and start practices on March 29th and events the week of April 12th. So that's it on my side.
Thank you. Are you looking for us to vote on whether we can have spring sports tonight, since you want to start on March 29th?
I guess that would be, yeah.
I mean, it's done so far, so I would support spring sports. I don't know if there's anyone that has any concern about that. I mean, it's done well both winter and fall, so.
Yeah, I think especially since more of the spring sports are outdoors, I think there's significantly less risk. And so I would make the motion that we approve spring sports if necessary, under your direction.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, spring sports, very good to go. All right. Consent items, claims and payroll. That's signed.
Oh, we need to talk. Oh, never mind.
Just kidding.
We're still on the principal's report.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're moving on now. So we're done with principal's report. Is that right? All right, here we go. Consent items, claims and payroll, check. And correspondence.
I do have correspondence, but it's for non-public.
Okay. How about discussion items?
So we can talk about the voting date first. There are a couple schools that have decided to go remote for Tuesday the 9th next week. Amy had asked that I put this on the agenda with inquiry from the public. So it's up for discussion, and just for Tanya might be able to discuss a little bit more with Kelly in regards to logistics. Typically, we've kept the building open. And they're totally sectioned off, and there's no interaction with the public. Some things to consider that folks may be worried about are COVID protocols, and then our congestion at pickup and drop off seems to be, could be a barrier for voters trying to get in here prior to the start of school. It's pretty limiting prior to school and after school, and then for after school pickup or after school program pickup. So it's just something to consider. And do you want to add anything?
The only 2 points I would add, We do have a couple of teachers whose children go to other schools who are going remote that day. So those individuals who have kids at Holderness and Thornton, I believe Rumley and Wentworth are also going to remote, but we don't have staff who have kids there that I can think of right now, but, so there will be an impact because those other schools have chosen to go to remote. There was a conversation that was had, I did reach out to the union leadership about their feelings about this. They think either is fine, and they're absolutely open to both. It would help some of their staff, some of their membership if we went remote, and others feel that remote is a lot of work and they'd rather be in person. There was a conversation about moving parent-teacher conferences, which is scheduled for Friday the 12th, which is a half day to that day. The leadership felt that we don't have enough time to make that shift this only a week in advance, and that so they would say have the two be separate. Don't move parent-teacher conferences to a week from tomorrow. We're not ready for that.
So if you move to remote, which is probably something you have to consider, just know that that Friday is a half day as well. So for families, that might be a little bit of a struggle. It's a day and a half out.
Do you think you're gonna have any issues getting coverage subs that day for people who would be out?
That is a tough question.
It is a daily.
Right, I know it's
It
a
is-
struggle
it is
every
a-
day, so
it
is
is
it gonna be,
Yeah.
like, I mean, are we gonna end up last minute having to go remote because we can't get subs? Is it better to plan ahead? That's
I would say that,
Yeah.
this staff has been amazing in general with being here, and we've been able to make it work all year, but if we have to switch to remote because there's a shortage, and we've always had that in our plan. So I wouldn't base your decision on
Okay.
that.
Do you guys have a recommendation, because you haven't really waited when
I mean, I would say, my recommendation would probably be to go to remote for that day, especially now that you've thought about, initially I thought to stay in, just so the kids don't miss another day in person, but with the way we're doing pickup and drop off right now, that may be an issue right in the morning and right in the afternoon, and then again for the after school program. So I just don't.
I was thinking, sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
I was thinking very strongly that we should be in person because I'm very thoughtful about working parents. But when I began to think about the drop off and pickup times, I mean, you can't get into to the back part. It'll be over an hour of worth of time when there's no access to the back of the building for the voters. And I don't think that is doable. So
Because the majority.
my recommendation based on that is that we go to remote. I'm not concerned about the COVID. We can close down the gymnasium. We can clean. That's not the issue to me. The issue is the access for voting.
So we have access issues, and the faculty sounds like is maybe 50-50 in terms of.
They did not have the ability to pull the whole body, so it was a dipstick into the.
That's fine. It wasn't a strong, yes, we should stay open, no, we should go remote. It was okay, thank you.
We've discussed this before in previous years about the elementary school being the voting site. Maybe this is just for a later time to have another conversation about maybe alternate sites if we're gonna be dealing with issues like this ongoing, so. But I would move that we go remote for that day.
I'll second.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Okay, so Tuesday the 9th will be a remote day.
Yep.
And then I'm sure Tanya and Kelly will send out communication immediately about that.
Yeah.
I would like to note that even though we have dedicated air handlers and probably one that would handle the gym, the partitions in the hallway are not airtight, and there's potential for transmission just through the unusual number of members of the public who would be in the building for the day.
Thank you guys for the discussion on that.
Certainly, we're sensitive to working parents as well, but I think this is the best decision, given access and the other stuff we've already talked about.
As long as correspondence can go out to families. That'd be perfect. Thank you. All right, discussion items. Was there any other correspondence? Sorry.
No, that was,
No.
that was the first discussion.
Oh, okay, yeah, just kidding. District meeting prep.
There is, I typed up some cards with the warrant articles on it. The just about format tonight again. We have Quentin Blaine as your moderator. There will be probably an assistant moderator appointed by Quentin once we get in there and that would be for the public members that do not want to wear masks. They're going to be in a separate room. And it's just in person, as you know. So we are 6 feet apart, and there's plenty of room. So that's all I have. It's the same handouts from the hearing. We haven't changed anything, and we're ready to move forward. So unless you have questions for me, I think we're ready for meeting.
All right, any other business? All right, so someone want to make a motion to go to non-public?
So moved.
All right,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.